Alright, now we're moving on to All-Star Superman. And this is where I'm starting to realize it's hard to follow certain films when, nothing is in the same continuity, really. I mean, they're all supposed to be in the same universe, but there are, you could say this could follow after Crisis on Two Earths because Luthor escaped from prison, I guess, but I don't know. But we have All-Star Superman, and in this film, Superman is fighting off Lex Luthor, who hits him with the radiation of the sun, or solar radiation, or whatever you call it, and it turns out now Superman is going to die. So Superman reveals his secret identity to Lois, and gives her 24 hours of Kryptonian powers, I guess. It doesn't really do anything, but yeah, I'm going to leave it at that because there's so much to go on. This movie is 76 minutes long. There's so much that goes on in this film. So beginning of this film, Superman fights Lex Luthor, right? And he gets hit with this solar ray. Turns out he's now dying from it. But for someone that's dying, he sure takes a long-ass time to do it. I mean, of course, it takes the entire runtime of the film, but he finds out he's going to die. So he tells Lois the truth. The problem with that is, why do they... In every other iteration, and when he tells Lois who he is, she believes him. Here, it's like, oh, you were masquerading as Clark Kent. You were pretending to be Clark Kent. I am Clark Kent. She won't believe him. Tell towards Gamma, he's like, I told you. Superman. It's just... I don't know if that's really necessary. Also, there's so many subplots in this film. So we have Superman getting hit with the radiation, which means now he's going to die. Luthor is arrested, and he's going to go to jail, and he's sentenced to death. Superman takes Lois to the Fortress of Solitude in a car. He picks her up and takes her in a car. Why? I get it, it's cold. What, he still could have just flew her there. I don't know. And, she thinks that he's doing something dastardly, but it turns out there was some kind of fumes that were making her hallucinate. And so he really created a suit for her and a serum that gives her Kryptonian powers for 24 hours. And there's a malfunction from the Kryptonian Robot 7, which comes back later, I might add. And then all of a sudden, there's these other two, Samson and whatever his name is, and they're fighting over Lois Lane because, and Samson can see the future and sees that Superman's going to die, and gives Lois the shield thing, which summons a villain, I forget his name, to come down, and Superman's got to ask her a question, which he does right. Then he's got to have a test of might, so he plays... he does a arm wrestling contest, two at the same time, and beats them. That subplot's done. They're never shown again. So now Superman, he's dying, is going to save the Kryptonian city of Kandor by flying it somewhere into space. He doesn't think he'll survive the way back, but he makes it back 2 months later, and some new Kryptonians have taken over. Oh no, subplot number 43. And so he has to take them down. But oh no, Lex Luthor has tampered with the Kryptonian Robot 7, and he has the serum, so when he is sentenced to death, it doesn't work. So now he's out and free. There's also in between this a prison riot before he takes the Kandor city. Okay, another subplot, add that in there. And there's other Kryptonians around too, and then there's a secret second character, Solaris, which is a giant sun, and that calls back to the Sun Eater that was shown earlier in the Fortress of Solitude, which doesn't really pay off because looks like he's gonna eat it, but then it explodes and nothing. The Superman destroys the sun itself, and he's going. So he supposedly dies, I guess, but Lois says that he doesn't. There's just so many subplots going on here. So many subplots. The voice acting is okay. I'm starting to get used to the changing voices. But one thing I was prepared for is that Perry White is voiced by Ed Asner, who recently passed away a couple months ago. So that was a little sad, but the voice worked for the most part. John DiMaggio was in there somewhere. I know he plays a character. Samson or the other one of those two. I just feel like there's so many things going on in this film. It's like the whole thing was that Superman was going to die. So that should have been your main focus. Like, even if you had it set up that Luthor was going to escape, you could have had that too. But to throw Samson and the other guy, and then this other villain that shows up, and then the Kryptonians, and it's too much. There's too much going on in this film. Like, I'm sitting there watching this, right? Here's a reenaction of my reaction, you know. Okay, so Superman's gonna die. Okay, that's gonna be powerful narrative to go through with this, right? Huh? Who are these two? Samson? Okay, is this Delilah? No. What's going on? What? Who's this guy? What's the riddle? A riddle? What? They want to go dancing in Atlantis. Okay. Arm wrestling contest. Two at the same time. What? Okay, that's done. He got it. A prison break. Okay. What? Parasite. Alright. Okay, now we can calm down. He's taking Kandor. He's gonna die. We're almost done. He's gonna die in space. It's gonna be sad. Wait, what? 2 months later. New Kryptonians. What? Wait, what? Huh? Am I getting punked? What? Huh? Okay. What? Solaris. Huh? Luthor's dead. He's not dead. He has the serum. He was... Okay, Superman knows the Luthor behind it. Why didn't he do something before this? What? Okay, is he dead? Lois says he's not dead. What is going on in this movie? There's so much. There's so much going on in this movie. It wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it, but there's so many unnecessary subplots. It bogs down the movie to a point where I can't really enjoy it. So I'm gonna have to say that when it comes to All-Star Superman, it's a middle of the road movie for me. It's in the middle of the road because there's just too much. There's too much for the mind to fathom. I'm getting a headache already. I just can't. Middle of the road. That's my final answer. But it's not terrible. It's just so much going on. But in the next film, we'll be returning. I don't know what returning means, but returning to the world of the Caped Crusader in Batman Year 1 to look forward to that. But until then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.